It's unbelievable what's happened here. This is unprecedented. It's going to go down in history as one of the most important events to occur in modern finance. This is a bigger deal than Enron collapsing. And so there's a couple of things that I'll start out just because you have to know this first. Right. Most of you in crypto know this, so please forgive me if I'm repeating the obvious. But when you buy a stock, you're going long. When you buy a stock, you're buying it at a certain price, let's say $10 a share, hoping that the price goes up because you believe in the company, you believe in its products and services, you think it will perform well. The other end is shorting a stock. That is doing the exact opposite. You're betting that the stock will go down. And so what happened here today is you had short sellers. Think of these as hedge funds that are like merchants of death. They're betting on companies hoping they die at a time where, betting on companies and losing of jobs at this time is, probably not a business you want to be in. You're not going to have a lot of the moral high ground behind you. But what happened is a bunch of these hedge funds betting on job loss, betting on companies failing, they piled into GameStop. But they did something where they broke the law of physics. When you short, you borrow a share of stock and you sell it hoping the price goes down, and then you buy it back and you make the spread. If it went down, if it went up, you lose the spread. And another thing worth noting, when you're shorting, the most you can make is double your money if the business goes to zero. But if the price goes up, you effectively can have infinite losses because, there's no ceiling. And so 140% of the shares, meaning more than every share that exists, 140% of all the shares in GameStop were shorted. How can you sell more than 100%? This is a thing called naked shorting. And so what happened is some of the Wall Street hedge funds shorted more than 100% of the shares, 140%. And some people using public information, these people you heard about on Reddit, figured out that this happened. And then they started creating a small group of people getting together in a very kind of Occupy Wall Street sort of way, the 99% versus the 1%, David versus Goliath. They said, if we all start buying up these shares, not because we believe in the fundamentals of the company, but because these hedge funds have shorted it and they've defied the laws of physics, we can drive a short squeeze, meaning force those companies to have to cover their borrowing. And because they've borrowed more than there is, the stock can essentially go to infinity and we can bankrupt these financial institutions. But this is what happens when you defy the laws of physics. You can get hurt. And again, when you short. And so they organized, the little people came together. They're telling you on the media, these amateur investors. Clearly, they were very smart. Their investment thesis was sound. And that's what they did. They started running up the stock. These hedge funds started to panic. They're going, oh my God, we're going to go bankrupt. We can't afford this. The price can go to infinity. And to cover their position means they have to buy the stock, which means it just keeps going up. And when you have to buy more than 100% of all the shares that exist, the price goes to infinity and all these firms go under. So panic ensues. RobinHood, which has been another big driver, right? This retail market of little investors, which is a great thing that little people are getting involved. That are buying into cryptocurrency or buying into stocks. The American people have a bad history of saving money. The fact that there's a trend of Americans saving money and investing and being reliant on creating and securing their own financial future is a great thing. RobinHood helped drive that. And with a great name like Robin Hood. But it turns out that Robin Hood works for the sheriff of Nottingham. And so Citadel pays for all their trades, a major firm. And the reason they do that is Robin Hood gives all of the trading information of the little investors, the little retail investors, to Citadel so that they can front run them, so that they can fleece them and trade against them, which is really interesting. It means that Robin Hood steals from the poor to give to the rich. You shouldn't use that as the name of your company if that is your business model. And so they paused all the trading to manipulate the stock price, which drove the price down 50%, giving some of the hedge funds a chance to cover, maybe saving a couple of them. Probably won't save all of them. So the people go crazy. The price plummets by 50% because of this. All of a sudden, a class action lawsuit gets filed against Robinhood. AOC and Donald Trump Jr. take the side of the people together. The first time I think they've ever agreed on anything. Elon
Cruz,
Musk,
AOC.
tells everyone, hold. This is kind of like in crypto when we say hodl. It's like the movie 300, everybody holding the shield, or in the movie Braveheart, everybody holding the spears. Because if you hold long enough, you can't lose. The laws of physics are on our side. This is not a fundamental bet. This is a bet because these firms defied the laws of physics. And if we hold long enough, there is no way they win. Now E-Trade has blocked all the trading. You can't buy more, but you can sell. It looks like Ameritrade has got on board. One of the heads of the NASDAQ is talking about freezing all trading. I mean, if this happens, this could cause the collapse of the global financial system. This is so scary. And so what Wall Street should do, because they're not all bad. We're investors. We trade in crypto. We trade in stocks. But when you have some very bad actors, merchants of death, that are trying to kill American companies and kill American jobs by defying, naked shorting, defying the laws of physics, let them die. Do not let the reputable financial institutions get involved, because this is going to be toxic. This is going to be full of taint. My advice to the regulators is recognize the real problem here. Obviously, these Redditors did not manipulate anything. They came up with, using publicly available information, a strategy that was actually sound. They all got together. The little people attacked the financial institutions, David versus Goliath, and they were right. So the real issue here is in the naked short selling. How is it possible that 140% of the stock was borrowed and sold? This is what the regulators should focus on. This is the thing we should say should never happen again. This is clearly not okay. We're defying the laws of physics. And so I hope the regulators focus on the right thing here and don't go protect the financial institution. Their jobs are to protect the little people and to prevent these types of things from happening. And so I hope that everybody falls on the right side of history here, which is understand we have some very bad actors from Wall Street that have no moral high ground. No one is going to be there to protect them. They're trying to kill jobs in America at a time where we need them. And they're trying to kill companies. Do not jump in and protect them. Regulators, make sure we prevent this type of thing from ever happening again. And NASDAQ, please stay out of this. Please stay out of this. Because if they get involved, this could completely destroy all credibility in the financial system. And crypto is not ready for this. We are not ready for prime time. If the system falls apart, it will be bad for all of us. We do not want this right now. We do not want this to happen. We are not ready. And for all of you in crypto, keep building, because clearly this infrastructure is becoming more and more important. We've seen the censorship of free speech, the First Amendment, which isn't the third, not the fifth, it's the first, for a reason. Our liberty and our freedom is predicated upon our voice, the ability to have free speech. Without that, we have no freedom. And today we saw the censorship of the free markets. This is not capitalism. This is not free markets. Again, this is a few bad financial institutions, not all of them like 2008, a few of them saying, please socialize our losses. No, let's not bail them out again.